Sup Shredders, my name is Logan, aka Spiderhands, and welcome to an SP Patrons video today that I'm making for Dinnerhe as part of their custom monthly music review. And if we switch over to here, we have ourselves the track on the screen is from an act named RADWIMPS titled Sparkle. It's the English version, is off the album titled Your Name, the deluxe edition / original motion picture soundtrack with the art on the screen. And we're going to listen through this track from start till finish, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go. What do we got? Lyrics as well in English. Nice. Her English version.
Caught in a never-ending game. Seems like the world's still trying to tame me. If that's the way, I will obey. Beautifully struggle every day. Shouldn't we have a little kiss while seeing both of our hourglasses? Let's make a plan to meet somewhere that is the most far from goodbye.
Great transition to the leads. Buzz, Buzz rolls with the triads, triplets on the right hand there.
Finally the time has come. Everything up till yesterday was a prologue, skimming through the days of old. It's my turn to bear the load. With my experience and my skill and all the courage I had let start to mildew at an unprecedented speed, I will dive right into you. And when I dove stop into a lukewarm can of soda, I dreamed of a world so far from you that's not on the map, searching outside of the classroom window, or in summer morning that's brought from the commuting train. Words like tomorrow
Gorgeous.
or future or fate, no matter how far they extend their hands, we breathe, we dream, we raise our love in a timeless land that is far out of reach. Even the second our hands of the clock, they look at us sideways as they tick and talk. How I hope to have forever to spend this life, no, our future life, right here in this world with you.
Fantastic transition
Further
there.
away than far ahead. How do you do's and all the nice to meet yous, and breathe over 1,000 years, cycle in a single day.
It's just a fantastic flurry of the tremolo on the guitars, or the vibrato there, full-bodied bass line.
How I hate a lifeless world. It's made up entirely of dictionary words that saw through my kaleidoscope on a monotonous August morn. When he appeared in front of me, acted shy but I didn't miss your grinning face, like if it's the textbook of this world of how to make you smile and face. I've been looking for incredibles, the meaning of unbelievable, even hope for tragedies if it goes with the thrill. But then you were standing in front of my door with every piece in your hand that I could ask for. Words like tomorrow or future or fate, no matter how far they extend their hands, let's breathe and dream, we play together in this place. What do you say?
I mean, that bass line underneath is so active, man. Not now, but it was before.
Even the way way that you love. I swear I could smell the scent of yours. And in the way that you walked, I could hear that bright laughters of yours. Since one day you will disappear, I'll keep every part of you. Make sure that it's burned into the back of my eyes. It's not a right that I'm due. My duty that is must have been kept.
It's a fantastic crescendo here. Just natural instrumental development.
Words like tomorrow or future or fate, no matter how far they extend their hands. We breathe, we dream, we raise our love in a timeless land that is far out of reach. Even the second our hands of the clock, they look at us sideways as they tick and talk. How I hope to have forever to spend this life. No, our future lies right here in this world with you.
Those reverse takes are kind of trippy, but they still simmer in the mix. Bell curve. I feel like this track was really well fleshed out, with absolutely no filler. Apparently the Japanese version of this is 9 minutes long, so I'm wondering what else they've put in that version specific to make it a bigger experience whilst being equally, if not more, as meaningful. But I enjoyed my time listening through this track. I feel like I had a really positive experience with it, and we're going to talk about it more in the conclusion. Because welcome to the conclusion of my review of this track from an act named RADWIMPS, the song titled Sparkle. Now, this was the English version, so I have no excuse for not understanding what the track is about because of a language barrier. My understanding on a first listen through is that it is about someone who basically felt like they were maybe stuck in a rut. They didn't really know where they were going in their lives. Things felt kind of trapped and they felt maybe lost. And they didn't have a lot of hope for the future. And then they found this other person, they give them hope, a sense of purpose and meaning. It's like they have all the pieces that they were missing. And it's like they've realized how much better their life is additional to their own deal with this other person being in their lives. And they realize that they want to spend the rest of their life with that person and all of their future lives. Even time looks at them weirdly, almost to say that their relationship works outside the bounds of time and space. I think it's a really glorious track. I feel like the way it was sung, the English was really solid. You could hear the words clearly. I liked the way the lines came together. I think there was a similarity with the expression and approach of it. There wasn't a lot of range, but I don't think there needed to be. There was a lot going on with the reverse takes, the keys, the guitars, bass, and drums. And I feel like there was just more than enough to appreciate instrumentally without the vocalist being too experimental in their way of telling this tale. It was meant to sort of be more of a vocal focus track. They're the focal point. And they showed solid, vocal technique. They were comfortable in their head and chest voice. Most of the mid to high range there niched really elegantly with what was going on with again the other instruments in the track, and they were typically in the center of the stereo field. Occasionally those reverse takes would sort of be in a similar sort of spectrum, but it's like you had the guitars on one side, or like the triplet keys, da 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 da, those triads on the other side. So anything that was in the mid to high range that might have clouded the presence of the vocals was separated, which I think was a smart move. And so ultimately you have a singer who can sing well, expresses themselves meaningfully, Not too over the top with it, but enough that you could sort of sit there and understand what they're trying to communicate. And I feel like it was done in a really classy way. Yeah, and the melodies harmonized well with the other instrumental sections. At 6 minutes 51, we did make the most, I think, of the ability to slow dance our way through it. There were verses and choruses and instrumental sections, and we had breaks there where the singer would kind of take a moment and allow the keys to cascade, or there would be different guitar parts, whether they are picked sort of arpeggiated bits or more strummed fuzzy guitars, or whether the bass line would decide to not sort of separate itself from simply working with those roots and go through the triads and scales and maybe go up the fretboard a little bit into that mid-range and sequence itself there. I think that the drums were a big part of why this track sort of flowed the way it did. We didn't have the drums immediately, but we had this sort of marching drums kind of aesthetic moving on, and the buzz rolls and stuff like that were very atmospheric immediately. It sounded like we were marching towards something. I'm not quite sure, maybe a brighter future with that sparkle there, but to move into more of a swingish kind of transition there with the rides and the kicks, and not swing as in fast groove, but like we were sticking with those triplets. And no, what it wasn't swing, because it was, I don't want to sort of communicate that it was swing eighths. It was straight 4/4. There were eighths, sixteenths, and quarters, but there was a jazzy feel to it because of the way the instruments were played, again with the rides, the kicks, the snares, and the snare focus, as well as the crashes and various implementations. I think what I enjoyed about it most, it's a piece where we had, again, like things separated within the stereo field. The guitars on one side, whether again they were the fuzzy overdriven parts or the clean arpeggios there. There is the pianos with those constant triplets, but also they would go brum, they'd kind of cycle through those notes, grace them quickly. There were chords on the left hand as well to reinforce that harmony in the lower mids. And when the bass line, drums and guitars and keys came together, and you had those kind of reverse takes, almost like we were remembering things. Things were coming back to us in a way that was very pretty sounding there. Sometimes when you have those reverse takes, and wah, 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 that kind of effect, it can be a bit disconcerting and it can make you feel a bit uncomfortable. We didn't have that situation there with this more subtle, and I feel that was a smart move. There is a sense of a glow and optimism with this track through its use of the predominant major key. There are moments where the chords go down a little bit in certain progressions and they become a bit sad, but I don't think they stay there too long. And it's, again, the sparkle not just described within the track, but also from the tones and timbres of the instruments there, that really makes this track very effective. And I feel like, on the top of my head, and I've made the cardinal sin of forgetting there are solos when there are them. I mean, there was like a kind of a bluesy, kind of rockish sort of guitar element there around the 5-minute mark, but no, I don't think I missed any solos sections this time, which is great because it frustrated me the last time it happened, and I think we're a bit more onto it today. But ultimately, I feel as if, yeah, the theme with the major chordal focus there works well with the story. I think there's enough range with the chord progressions and bass lines to keep things interesting throughout. We don't have all the instruments at once, the layers adjust. It's a very tight, cohesive performance without a note out of place, and there's a great chemistry within the band, and they clearly care about the music they're making. The studio recording, mixing, and mastering is the icing on the cake. It's incredibly effective. Just the vocals, guitar, bass, drums, keys, and the reverse takes and other elements there are so clear and pristine. There's no weird resonant frequencies. You know, things surround you in the stereo field as well. The things pitched in different parts to allow the vocals more presence in the center, like the keys on the right and then the guitars maybe on the left, and moving into the center when there is space and not more context. And I think that, you know, there's definitely dynamic range with the bell curve going back down to the triplet triads at the end with the keys. And it's nice and loud without pumping, so the bus compression and limiting was handled. I mean, effectively, this is my review of this track from an act named RADWIMPS titled Sparkle, and hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show them some love via their various social medias and a Spotify page, and stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as you need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you in the next SC Patrons video. Spiderhands out.